Hello, friends. Welcome to Marketing Monday. I am doing it totally makeup free, so forgive me. But that's what happens when you are busy doing actual marketing and working. Today, I wanted to talk about a really sort of basic concept, but something that gets confused a lot. And that is the difference between a social media manager, social media marketer, and PR. So I'll just be brief kind of about all of these. I do have a blog up on my site that breaks these down further, but and each agency, each person, company, has different terms, different things that they include. So this is just kind of a general way to think about stuff to make it less confusing. But essentially, when you are looking to hire social media manager. A social media manager is going to be working with your content, your organic content. They will, in essence, be managing your social media so you don't have to. That is one of my taglines that I use a lot, right? Is let us worry about social media so you can go do what you do best, right? So a social media manager will create content for you. They will handle all the use of like the trending hashtags. They'll schedule the content and post it. They'll put together, I call it a budget, but basically like, an outline of content that, depending on your relationship with your social media manager, you might want to review and approve before it goes up. So they really are like, in essence, you. They go in and they act like you on your social media and post. For usually an additional fee, they will take on what's called usually community management. And community management can include stuff like commenting and responding to comments, responding to messages, moderating groups if that's part of your marketing plan. And they'll also kind of make sure that they're following sort of policies and things that you guys have put in place about, I don't know, if someone leaves like an inappropriate comment or if there's a user you need to ban or something like that. And so they will step into that role as well and handle community management. Um, Really, it's important that you talk to your social media manager, that they're a good fit for you, that they're a good vibe for you, that they get what your business is about, what your voice is, and that again they are a representative of you. The whole point of having a social media manager is so that you don't have to be distracted by worrying about it. Like if you enjoy social media manage like doing social media yourself, and you want to have more of a collaborative relationship and want just more of like, in-depth strategy or smarter ways to do things, or, kind of more sophisticated content creation, you can hire like a consultant. You could hire a designer to give you better graphics and better videos. So, sometimes those are things that you really need to think about is, do I actually need a social media manager who's literally handling the day-to-day execution of my channels and platforms, or do I want somebody that's going to help me strategize and level up my content? And a social media manager can do all three of those things, but just make sure that that is who you're hiring. Or that, if you don't need the scheduling part, the posting part, you just want the strategy part, you can just hire a consultant. So those are things to think about. Now, social media marketing has to do with paid social. So, a lot of people think that when they boost posts, like hit boost post, on, I don't know, I just did air quotes, but when you do that on Facebook or Instagram, aka Meta, that you've done advertising. And technically you have, right? Because you put money behind it. But in Business Manager, there is a much more sophisticated, in-depth way to actually set up ad campaigns, and you can do A/B testing to like test headlines and copy and creative and see what actually is going to perform the best. You can get really, really drilled down and target audiences based off of geographic location, interests, and all of that good stuff, age. So, um, really, what a good social media marketing specialist or expert is going to do is work with you to create a set of ads or a singular ad, but oftentimes a set of ads um, that serve a specific purpose. So, there are different kinds of ads that you run if you're sort of wanting top of the funnel. The sales funnel, the top of the funnel is like engagement and awareness and visibility. And there's a certain type of ads that you can run to get those results. And then, if you want, sort of more bottom of that looked dirty. I didn't mean to do that, but bottom of the funnel, um, you know, results like sales and conversions and leads, there's a whole different kind of ad that you would run to get those. And then there's also ads to run just to get likes or follows on your accounts. There's different, budgets that you should expect to spend based on what platform you're advertising on. So it can get pretty complicated, especially if it's just something that you're not skilled in or you don't really want to worry about. It's always nice to hand that off to an expert to run your ads for you, because they'll make sure that they stay current. They'll make sure that they're performing at their best and giving you the best ROI, return on investment, return on interest. And I like to say return on investment, but it's return on. And they will, give you reports. They'll show you how things are performing. And, it's just something that kind of gives you a peace of mind to know that you've trusted somebody who knows what they're doing and does this as their job. So just to touch a little bit on the budget side of stuff, Facebook, Instagram, Meta, you can run ads for like $5 a day. They like to suggest starting at around $10 to $12 a day to see really good results, but still it's pretty cheap. It's not a huge spend to do those kinds of ads. But if you want to advertise on LinkedIn, that's more expensive. That's a lot more expensive than Meta advertising. A lot of people don't know that, but LinkedIn is pretty expensive to advertise on. Google ads are a big investment. A lot of times if you are contemplating running a Google ads campaign, it's really important, really, really, really important that you establish upfront your budget and what that spend is going to be, because it can be a difficult thing to sustain. And I'm like, I'll give you an example. Like, I have a couple clients right now. One is spending about 160,000 a year. I have another client that's spending about 200,000 a year on Google ads. Now they get amazing results, like they're getting leads like nobody's business, and conversions like it's nobody's business. And that's one of the things I actually tell you, that if you are successful with a Google ads campaign, be prepared, like have systems in place to handle the influx of interest that you're going to get, because when they're successful, it's crazy. So, I'm not trying to shy you away from that. If you have the ad budget to spend on Google ads, definitely, throw that in your tool belt of resources available to you. But you can, run ads for much more inexpensive, on some different platforms, and different marketers have different specialties, right? So like if you have a podcast and you want to advertise on Spotify, or those kinds of platforms, you might want to find an agency or a person that has that specific experience with those platforms, because they're all very different, have different requirements and all those things. So, and mostly I would say if they're a good social media marketer, they can figure it out. Like if they haven't done a platform before that you're interested in, like, I don't know that would be a deal breaker for me of not to hire somebody. But I think that it's just worth exploring, as you're having those conversations with a potential hire. The last category is PR, public relations, sometimes also called media relations. This one is pretty different in the sense that you are essentially paying somebody for their established connections and relationships. A lot of people that start or run or work at PR agencies, come out of like TV and broadcasting, radio. So they know all those people, and you're going to hire somebody to do PR for you when, you want to be on your local news station, or you want to get interviewed for a talk show, or you want to book spots as a guest on podcasts, or do speaking gigs, or that kind of stuff. And so it really is about visibility. It's getting in front of a lot of times larger audiences than you're used to, that are dedicated audiences. It's considered traditional media, most of the places that PR is really valuable for. And there can be lots of reasons why you would want to hire a PR agency. Kind of the two most common ones are, if you've got like a big project coming up, or something that you're releasing, a book launch, or you're opening a new business, or I don't know, but something like that. And then the other reason, right, is if you want to be sort of like the go-to expert for something specific, right? So let's say I am a really skilled chemist, and I don't know, I'm making this up. I'm a really skilled chemist, but I also can make chemistry really easy. And so anytime there's like conversations or articles or topics brought up about, something that's sciencey and chemical, but I can make it really easy to understand and give good sound bites, I want to be that person that my local news station talks to every time, or I want to be, the person that journalists contact to get quotes from. And so you really want to own that space. That could be a reason why you would want to hire a PR agency. And smaller places, I've seen like $1,500 a month. That's kind of standard. And then the bigger firms, right, anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 a month on up. So because in this particular case you're paying again for their connections, for these relationships, it might be worth it, especially if you're doing like something around a specific project for a limited amount of time, to kind of splurge and go big on a PR rep. But if you're looking for a long-term play, you're again that person who wants to be sort of the expert in your community space, you might want to work with somebody smaller to be able to invest and sustain that long term. So again, it's really just about what you're looking for. And there's pluses and minuses to everything. It really comes down to personal preference. I am a super small, Stronger Today is a super small agency. We give every client white glove experience. We handpick each of our clients. We work with everybody from, creatives and nonprofit organizations and attorneys and film festivals and just all sorts of stuff. But we know our clients really, really, really well. And we have like very defined relationships with each of our client. I respond pretty darn quickly, constantly, to my clients when they need me. We do some really customized cool things for them, but I do not have like a ton of people available for resources. I don't have big fancy software for like really fancy analytics reports. So, it just kind of comes down to what you want, and again, like for me, I don't handle PR in house. So if that is something that you wanted to add on, because I'm not a big agency, a lot of the big agencies encompass like all of these things and more that we just talked about, I would refer you out to somebody to handle your PR needs. So again, it's identifying sort of what's important to you and your brand and your business, what makes you feel good, what's going to make you feel confident and successful and like you're making progress and growing and moving in the right direction. And you really want to make sure that you have a person that you trust with your brand and with your mission, and that gets you. And so again, on my blog, I provided a list of questions that, could be good to explore when you're having these conversations. And I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, anything you'd like to dive deeper into, let me know. Always happy to chat. Again, I know that I have like the ring light in my glasses. I hope that wasn't too annoying. Hopefully you could, ooh, big motorcycle just went by. Hopefully that wasn't too annoying and you were able to focus on what I was saying. If it was super annoying, let me know. I will redo this video, sans the glasses, put my contacts in, and be a big girl, put on some makeup, and we can re-record it. But I hope that this was valuable. Have a great rest of your week.